zero, got God in the plan, yo. Now I'm counting blessings, God, wealth in my hand. Used to dream small, now the mindset grand. Now I move like a boss, not a flash in the gram. It's a squad, not a clique, it's a mission with a vision. We building 7 figures, not just flexing for attention. Faith in the grind, purpose in the hustle. I don't chase cash, I attract it through muscle.
What's crack-a-lackin', everybody? Money Smart Guy here with another episode of Millionaire Responds. Let me say something that's going to bother some people. If you're doing everything you were told, working hard, saving money, being responsible, and you still feel stuck, it's not because you failed. It's because the rules have changed and nobody has explained us the new version of the money. So this afternoon, I'm going to be breaking down why the American dream feels harder than it used to. We're breaking down how families actually train their kids for wealth building, how to train your kids from being broken-knees to speaking millionaires, if you know what I'm talking about. Why Texas is quickly becoming one of the most strategic places in America, in the world, for opportunity. So this isn't motivation. This is structure. If you're here to learn, not just listen, drop the word structure. If you're here to learn, not just listen, drop the word structure in the comments right now. Also, if you're chiming in live or watching the replay, put in the comment section what city and state you chiming in from. Reason I'm asking, many people have asked us to do these live events that we were doing, which I'm doing one this Thursday here in Frisco, Texas, called Cigars, Wealth, and Whiskey. We want to know where our listeners and viewers are coming from here on this 7-Figure Squad Millionaire Responds episodes. So if you wouldn't mind, put your city and state where you're from. Let's get into it. So the first clip I want to react to, and this one hits a nerve, because it sounds encouraging, but the math tells a completely different story. And let's take a look at what this guy has to say. Reaction to who? None other than Dame Ramsey. Take a look.
American dream is not dead. Your life is not horrible. This is the best time in the history of man to be alive. There's more opportunity now, more chance to be somebody, more chance to build wealth and change your family tree. It's easier now at this moment than at any time in human history.
Easier? I don't know, Dave. I got to disagree with you on this one. I mean, is there more opportunity and resources to make it into the top 10% today for the American dream? Absolutely. But you know the group that's been left behind? The typical essential workers. I mean, if you look back to 1996, 30 years ago, 2 EMTs fall in love. They're making 46 grand, which is more than the median household income back then. They want to buy the median house, $120,000, 20% down, 24 grand, 6 months of savings, 7.8% interest rate, payment out the door, $840, 22% of their gross income. Beautiful. Today, 2 EMTs fall in love, $90K, $405,000 for the median house, 20% down payment, $80K, almost an entire year of both their salaries, 6% interest rates, out the door, $2450 for their payment, 33%. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. $46,000 to $90,000 adjusted for inflation is a 0% increase for their wages. Yet the housing went up 67%. Healthcare on the employee portion, 190% increase. Groceries, 125%. College, 150%. Cars, 90%, all adjusted for inflation. And EMTs is just an example for my story. The typical essential worker, EMTs, 911 dispatcher, nursing aide, medical assistant, forklift operator, warehouse worker, delivery driver, utility worker, construction laborer, electrician apprentice, sanitation worker, bus driver, maintenance, security guard, school custodian. Typical essential jobs have been left behind. At best, they've had a 5 to 10% wage increase where everything else has increased this much. They have been left behind. These are essential jobs that just 30 years ago could buy a house, raise a family, and live the American dream. So the American dream is alive and well, but you got to be in the top 20%. What happens to the people in the bottom 80%?
The American dream is not dead. Your life is...
Woo! I disagree, and the data will prove it. My gosh, just listen to this guy just makes you want to just give up. My gosh, just listen to this guy just makes you want to give up. So the American dream didn't die. What did die was affordability. Now, let me explain why this clip triggers so many people. I mean, great representation of the data, right? Because on the surface, it sounds hopeful. It sounds motivating. It sounds like you can blame something. It sounds like personal responsibility. I get it. I actually agree with a part of it. This is an incredible time to be alive. Why? Technology, information, access, opportunity. Just like this guy is using on social media. And all that is real. But here's the distinction nobody wants to make. Opportunity exists. Affordability collapsed. Those two things are not the same. Now, when people say it's easier now than ever, what they really mean is It's easier, right, Dave Ramsey, if you're already positioned. Because effort alone doesn't explain what happened to essential workers. So let's slow this down and walk through the math, not the emotions. 30 years ago, 2 EMTs fell in love. They're making about $46,000 combined, which was above the median household income at that time. Buy the median home around $120,000. They put 20% down. They save for 6 months. Their mortgage payment is about $840 a month. 22% of the income, right? It's margin, that's stability, that's dignity. Now fast forward, same 2 MTs, same value to society, same essential work. Now they're making $90,000 combined. Median home, $405,000. 20% down, 80 grand. It's almost an entire year of their combined income just to get in their door, and their payment's not $840, it's $2450 a month. That's 33% of their gross income before life happens. See, that's not progress. That's a lot of pressure. But here's the part that matters most. Adjusted for inflation, their wages didn't increase, 0, but everything else did. Housing up, healthcare up, almost 200%. Groceries also up 100%. Cars, colleges, utilities, all up. So no, these workers didn't fall behind because they're lazy. They fell behind because the cost of life accelerated faster than their paychecks. And 2 EMTs are just one example. This applies to 911 dispatchers, nursing aides, warehouse people, electrician, people that work in construction, bus drivers, custodians, security guards. These are the people who keep the country running. And just 30 years ago, these jobs could buy a home, raise a family, and build a future. So when somebody says the American dream is alive and well, in a way, I push back. Not emotionally, but mathematically. But yes, this dream still does exist. Now, though, you need to be in the top 20% for it to feel the same. So the real question becomes, what happened to the other 80%? And this is where I respectfully disagree with voices like Dave Ramsey. Not because mindset doesn't matter. Mindset does matter. But the starting line moved. For example, I got 3 older kids, 30 years old, twins that are 24 years old. The cheese has moved for them compared to when I was in my 20s. And telling people just to budget harder by ignoring structure shifts in our economy is how a lot of people get frustrated with this guy here. I know I'm giving him a hard time because just listening to him just makes me kind of want to give up. But I know better than that. But let me say this clearly. I work with families every week. For example, tonight we got our workshops again on Tuesday nights. I see people every week come into our offices. They work full time. They do everything right. They still feel stuck. But not because they're not disciplined, but because discipline alone no longer closes the gap. And here's my real takeaway. The American dream still works, but now it requires strategy, not just effort. If you're in the top 20%, yeah, the system will reward you. Thank God somebody introduced me the gift and conversation and a platform of entrepreneurship, with a lot of people today still have to adjust to if you're not raised in that type of language. Because if you're in the bottom 80%, the system extracts them from you. So the question is right now, is the American dream alive? The real question is, do you understand the current rules of this version of the money game? Scripture already warned us about this in Proverbs 22, verse 7, that the borrower is servant to the lender. I mean, think about this. Everything that you're sold to buy, house, car, college, don't we all borrow for it? Because when affordability disappears, dependence on church, government, charity, a job, 1 client, 2 clients increases. But when dependence decreases, freedom shrinks. God's design was never survival. It was stewardship. So if you're thinking, I did everything I was told and still feel behind, listen, my man, you're not crazy, you're not broken, and you're not lazy. But you do need a new framework. When this guy here, he talks about all the problems, he doesn't create a solution, because hope without structure is just frustration with a Bible verse on it. So that's why we do Millionaire Responds. We don't shame effort. We don't sell fantasy. We teach structure. We teach strategy on this YouTube channel. We teach ownership so families can regain control under God's authority. That's why if you're going to bust and read the Bible, I encourage you to read Proverbs and Ecclesiastes, because it was written by the richest and wisest king who ever lived. And stay posted to YouTube channels like ours, where on other episodes on this YouTube channel, we can give you some strategies, some ideas, or coming to our workshops, we can tell you in person live, you make an investment in yourself to show up and attend. Bam. Not only can I give you some strategies, but the people I hang with, the people I can introduce you to, the people I'm in proximity to with, which I'm so excited for this Thursday, They will help change your life too as well based on conversation you're going to have. But you got to level up people that you associate with. You got to level up the people that you are in proximity with. And by the way, just listen to this guy. I'm so glad this guy can break down and put this data out there. But just listen to him solely. This kind of makes you want to give up without understanding that you have a chance to go to events because your life changes by the people you talk to, the books you read, the meetings you attend. And for example, this Thursday, we got Cigars, Wealth, and Whiskey right here in Dallas, Texas, right in Frisco, Texas. Very excited about it. Global Strategy Director, Jeff Karcher. And by the way, the tickets to these events range from $250 all the way to $1,000. And guess which tickets sold out? Matter of fact, people are texting me today. Are there any more elite tickets available? Even though they're $997, we got people flying in from California. We had people flying in from Canada. We had people flying in from Illinois. We got people flying in regionally to come to this event because they want to be part of this power group of thinkers. Because these folks here that's part of this event, they'll have you start thinking differently about your life. Your perspective will shapeshift and change the way you think things. So change the way you see things. If it changes the way you see things, it changes the way you do things. And if it changes the way you do things, then can change the results that you get in your life. Scan this QR code right now. Right now, we only got VIP tickets and premium tickets available. Scan this QR code now and see you at the next Cigars, Wealth, and Whiskey held once a quarter right here in Frisco, Texas, in my backyard. Now, once you understand in our country what's changing economically, the next question becomes, how do families adapt? This next clip answers that. Take a look at this gentleman.
The wealthiest families train their kids, and you should do the same. At the age of 5, give your child a job, a real one. Cleaning the room, taking out the rubbish, folding laundry, and pay them $5 a week. Now, here's the part that most parents miss. Every dollar they earn gets split into 3 jars. Jar number 1, the giving jar. $1 goes here every week. At the end of the month, they hand it to someone in need with their own hands. This teaches them that wealth has a purpose beyond themselves. Jar number 2, the spending jar. $2 goes here. At the end of the month, they spend it on whatever they want. No judgment. This teaches them freedom and choice. Jar number 3, the investing jar. $2 goes in here. But here's the magic. You add $1 from your pocket every week. So their $2 becomes 3. This teaches them money can multiply while they sleep. By the age of 10, they won't just know how to earn money, they'll know how to give it, enjoy it, and multiply it. Most adults are still figuring this out at 40. Your kid will master it by 10.
This guy, he's so pleasant. So, listen, true story, true situation. My son doesn't ask me if I'll buy things from him because he asks me instead what's going to cost him because he already knows the answer is yes. So you hear my son say things like, Dad, what book do you want me to read? For what, kid? How many push-ups do you want me to do? For what, kid? Because in our house, the answer, again, is always yes. You ask me for something, my answer is yes. But. Why? Because I want my kids' house, hard thing to teach them, is they're not entitled to anything. Because here's how it works. He tells me what he is willing to do. I listen. Then I raise the standards. So for example, Dad, how many push-ups do you want me to do? Or Dad, how many books do you want me to read? It's up to me to assess based on what he wants, to assess the task he wants to perform. Then I either meet him or raise the standard. I usually raise the standard. Because my job as a father isn't to make things easy. It's to make him capable. And when he finishes what he committed to do, for example, 20 push-ups, 30 push-ups, 40 push-ups, 50 push-ups, 1 book, 3 books, 5 books, I don't renegotiate. I don't stall. I don't move the goalpost. I look at him and say, I got you, son. Proud of you. There you go. because that moment matters. Because I'm not just buying an episode on Prime Video for him just to watch Peter Rabbit or Curious George. I'm teaching him that effort precedes reward and responsibility unlocks provision. And a man's word means something. Most kids learn early how to ask, but very few learn how to earn. And that difference shows up later in life. And the Bible says, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And for me, it's just not money. It's also how daddy thinks. It's not just money. It's work ethic. It's discipline. It's follow through. So I'm not just raising kids who learn how to beg. I'm raising sons and daughters who understand this, that provision follows responsibility. And when they show up, I show up. Go raise wealthy kids. All right. Let's take a look at this next clip here. Real quick pause. If you've been watching these reactions, watching this and thinking, okay, this makes sense, but how do I apply this scenario to my situation? And that's exactly why I have a profile on this app called Connect, because people want to directly ask me questions. They may not catch me on my comment section on YouTube, my comment section on social media. I'm an app called Connect, because Connect lets you ask me direct questions. It goes directly to me about money, about career decisions, about your business, about faith and finance, about leadership. And I'm not selling you a course. There's no funnel here. There's no hype. Connect with me. My job is to provide you clarity. And if Millionaire Responds, this YouTube channel, helps you see the framework, then Connect and connecting with me on Connect will help you apply it. Click this QR code, scan this QR code, and connect with me directly on Connect. I can respond to you via text message. I can respond to you via video message, or we can set up a 15-minute conversation where you and I can sit on a FaceTime video and process your issues together in chunks of 15 minutes at a time. So connect with me on Connect. So now we talked about this economic shift. We talked about how families train their kids to respond to things, to earn things. And here's the final piece of our afternoon together this Tuesday. That little piece is what I call positioning. Because where you build matters. Where you physically and geographically are matters. And I know that now, coming from Chicago, from California when I was in the Marine Corps, where you build your family matters in terms of the impact of your generational wealth. So look at this next clip here, because Texas isn't just growing. It's becoming the biggest opportunity state for people in my profession, the life insurance industry. So I want you to see this video here. I'm about to put it up. This reel here, very impactful from the perspective that most people hear this and right away they think, oh, real estate must be booming, or tech might be booming, or what Texas is known for, oil. Me, yours truly, I hear something different. I hear demand. And let's take a look at this clip.
Man, I saw this. This was wild. And guess it's something you need to know. Texas is now the most powerful state in the country. And this is why. In 2024, Texas added over 560,000 new residents, more than any other state. Every day, 1,500 people move to Texas. That's a new person every minute. They now have over 31 million people. Only California has more. Since 2020, over 140 major companies have moved their headquarters to Texas. Tesla, Oracle, Caterpillar, all Fortune 500 companies worth billions. Apple is building a $1 billion campus in Austin, Texas, with 5,000 employees. Apple's second largest office in the world. Google and Meta have expanded massively in Austin, Texas, all over the last few years. And this is why, zero income tax, zero state income tax, zero capital gains tax, and housing 3 times cheaper than California. Wow. The median house price in San Francisco is $1.3 million.
What?
In Texas, it's $430K. So companies save billions and employees can actually buy a house. Also, Texas produces 43% of all American oil. Yes, that's right. Almost half of all the oil in America come from Texas. One state produces almost half of America's oil supply. They produce more oil than Iraq or Iran, and more than Kuwait and the UAE combined. If Texas was its own country again, because you know Texas was its own country at one point in time. Actually, it's been 6 different countries, but that's where Six Flags come from. The name of the
okay, Bad Money.
We talked about that before. We can get to that later. But if it was its own country again, it would be the 4th largest oil producer on earth, behind Saudi Arabia, Russia, and the rest of the United States. In 2025, the Permian Basin produced 6.3 million barrels of oil per day, 48% of the U.S. oil production. Texas also produces 28% of America's natural gas. Texas also has 150 wind farms, producing 30,000 megawatts. If it were a country again, no. Man, I saw this. This was wild. And I guess it's something you need to know. Texas is now the most powerful state in the country. And this is why.
Yeah, I got to agree. And I was about to say that Dallas is the most important city in Texas. Let me get back to Texas, though. Texas added over 2.6 million people since 2020. And yes, over 140 major companies moved to Texas, right here. And yes, no state income tax. But that's not really the whole entire story. The real story is who is moving here. Texas isn't growing with retirees. It's growing with who? Working age families between 25 to 55. Careers are coming here. Kids are coming here. Mortgages are coming here. And life is happening fast. And this is the exact sweet spot for people in the ding, 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 life insurance industry. Every time someone moves, something breaks. Employer benefits reset, 401k rollovers. Coverage gaps open. New homes create new risk. Hello, mortgage protection insurance. New kids create new responsibility. Hello, education planning. And migration doesn't reduce insurance need. It actually multiplies it. Now stack this on top. Texas already has one of the largest protection gaps in the country. About half of adults here either don't have life insurance or number 2, don't have enough life insurance. And on top of that, that millions are underinsured for health. Rapid growth right now in multicultural families is exploding. Younger households are coming here who tend to buy, but delay because they don't know who to talk to because the life insurance industry is undermanned by 100,000 insurance agents. See, that's not a crisis. This is a wide open marketplace. And let me talk directly to agents or future agents out there watching this. This is why Texas quietly dominates for life insurance careers. Lower housing costs mean you can survive the ramp-up years as you build your family, you don't quit too early, and you stay licensed long enough to win. No state income tax means every sale keeps more of your money. Every override that you earn compounds, and agency builders like myself, like many that we're building here in Texas, actually feel that they're scaling their business. See, that matters when you're a 1099 independent contractor. Oh yeah, let's talk about Texas regulation. Low barrier to entry, fast and inexpensive licensing in the state. Agency ownership is friendly here in the state. And this state supports builders, not just employees. So think about recruiting. Who does Texas attract? Veterans like myself, career switchers, first-generation professionals, bilingual families. Every time I do a workshop here, whether my Cigars and Wealthy Whiskey event or my local workshops here in the Carrollton, Texas office, moving up to Plano, Frisco, I ask, how many guys are from Texas? 80% of the people say, I'm not from Texas. 10, 20%, yeah, I'm from Texas. 80% of people that's there aren't even from Texas. They moved here for opportunity. So the people who don't want a job come to Texas. What do they want? They want control. Because Texas isn't just pulling companies from other cities and states. It's pulling the exact talent, the talent profile that wins in the life insurance industry. So that's why our office, when it's our national agency, that's why 3 out of the 4 last years, our office has been the number 1 office out of our entire ecosystem of 171 offices within inside the company. Our Dallas office has always been number 1, 3 of the last 4 years. Scripture tells us this in Proverbs 21, verse 5. The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance. See, this ain't hype. This is just diligence, uncovering certain data. And data sometimes is disturbing because diligence and data means positioning. Large part about wealth building is positioning. Get in front of that wealth wave, get in front of it, boom, and capture it, not with your fishing poles, but with your fleet of ships with nets casted into the ocean. So no, Texas isn't just the most powerful state. It's becoming the most strategic state for anyone serious about building a life insurance career or insurance agency. Couple thoughts as I wrap up. Population growth creates demand. Demand creates opportunity. And structure determines who wins. And on Millionaire Response here, every Tuesday on the 7 Figure Squad YouTube channel, we don't chase trends. We teach people how to position themselves inside them, so therefore they can always have control. If you notice this theme this afternoon, it's simple. The world didn't stop working. The rules, yes, they've changed. And people feel pressure, not because they're lazy. I know there's a lot of hardworking people out there, but because nobody explained the new framework. That's why we do Millionaire Response. Don't shame effort. Don't sell hype and fantasy, but we restore control in your personal agency. If this episode helped you, please drop in the comment section below. Structure one more time in the comment section below. And keep this in mind. Connect with me on Minect. Minect is wide open. Connect with me live in person at Cigars, Wealth, and Whiskey this Thursday. Why? Same mission, different rooms, whether you want to visit with me online, want to visit with me in person. Either way, if you enjoyed this episode, please smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and drop your biggest takeaway in the comment section below. Being said, guys, I'll see you next Tuesday here on the Millionaire Response episodes of YouTube Live on 7 Figure Squad YouTube channel. From Dallas, Texas, I'm your money smart guy, and until we meet again, continue to live smart, continue to love smart, and be money smart today. God bless you guys. Bye-bye.